Back on NFL Now, we continue to keep an eye on the absence of Zeke and if his Cabo conditioning program is coming to an end and his Arlington arrival is upon us. Here's his head coach, Jason Garrett.
Despite some optimism this weekend that an Ezekiel Elliott extension was close, the sticking point continues to be Todd Gurley money. It's a ceiling the Cowboys have repeatedly said they aren't going to match. They believe the deal was structured poorly, and they have to leave room for quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver Amari Cooper, who are both up for new deals as well. When it comes to getting Ezekiel Elliott in the building, he remains in Cabo San Lucas at this hour. I asked head coach Jason Garrett, though, that if this deal gets done in the next 48, how much time they realistically need to get him acclimated ahead of the Giants game on Sunday.
Zeke is as capable as anybody I know. He's an experienced player. He's been a really good player for us. He knows our system of football. I don't think there'll be a lot of learning there. He's a smart guy. He's an instinctive guy. But again, that's a hypothetical. We're just focused on the guys we have right now. We're going to go practice as well as we can to prepare the right way to play the Giants.
In his absence, the Cowboys have veteran Alfred Morris as well as rookie Tony Pollard. Garrett today saying they feel good about Pollard as both a runner, protector, and receiver. They say that he's also smart and instinctive and someone who's been getting a lot of work with the ones.
Well, the preseason suggests that Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the future to feel good about for the Giants. Saquon Barkley already proved that he's the running back of the future, challenging Zeke for that best back in the business. His head coach weighed in on Saquon year two.
I think he can get better really in all areas. And, again, that's a conversation for our building There were some runs early in the year where he bounced them where you could stick them up in there, and I think he learned that that's how you need to run. He had a couple of drops last year, right? There were a couple times when he was a little loose in pass protection. So all just the details of playing the position. And, I think if you ask him, I know keeping track of what he said a year ago, he said he was just focusing on the details of playing the position. And at least to this point, and I'm sure moving forward, that's been his mindset.
So the Cowboys and Giants get that good NFC East battle going in Week 1. Let's shift to East Rutherford, where our Kim Jones has the latest. Kim, Saquon and his readiness for Week 1 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, Matt, he's got to be ready, right? Because Saquon Barkley did not play a snap in this preseason. It was by design. You could say it was a very smart move by the New York Giants because of how valuable he is. As a rookie last season, he led the league in scrimmage yards. They would gladly take a performance like that again. Although I did find that answer from Pat Shurmur to my question about how Saquon can improve. I found it interesting. He said he dropped a few balls. Saquon admits that. He said that at times he was loose in pass protection. Saquon has talked even recently about wanting to be better in picking up the blitz, in protecting Eli Manning. So Saquon would not quibble with any of those thoughts from his head coach. I can guarantee you he cannot wait to get on the field Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys and actually play some real football.
Yeah, no doubt. The Cowboys defense plan A, B, and C stop Saquon. What about the Giants defense, though, and how they're trying to prepare for a game with Zeke or without Zeke?
Yeah, it's a good question, which is why, Matt, that was a question in the locker room just a few minutes ago that a lot of us were asking. When I asked that of defensive lineman B.J. Hill, he said simply, we're going to play as if that guy, Zeke Elliott, is playing on Sunday. Alec Ogletree had a bit of a different thought. He said that he hopes that Zeke gets what he wants in terms of the contract, and he hopes he plays. Ogletree, who is the Giants' defensive captain, went on to say that if Zeke plays, it can help the Giants' defense show how good they really are. And I do expect that to be a bit of a rallying cry, Matt. Ogletree also told us today that he knows that the expectations outside the building are not very big for this Giants team and the defense in particular. He did say he thinks, Alec Ogletree thinks, the Giants can be one of the best teams in the league.
All right, thank you, Kim. We appreciate it. And while Twitter can be a mean and angry place full of nothing but dark clouds, there is a ray of sunshine that can break through. And that ray of sunshine can be Baldy breakdowns. When he gets that XO and he makes us all feel a lot smarter about the sport of football. Baldy, pick up where Kim left off there on Saquon and what he's able to do as a full-rounded three-down back.
Well, I mean, in the receiving game, just against the Cowboys alone last year, Matt, he caught 18 passes. 18 passes in 2 games, including 14 in 1 game. And so when you watch him in the receiving game and what the Giants do, they love to go 3 wide receivers to the wide side, a receiver on the other side, a 3-by-1 set, and clear out space for Saquon, where he can work on just little spot screens like this one right here. And now they get a couple linemen out front. Will Hernandez is out there. The center's out front. And now Saquon's got a little bit of a convoy. Here, again, you're going to have Saquon back there next to Eli. You got 3 wide receivers up at the top. And they're just going to clear it out here. Clear it out. Let Saquon work on this flat route here. They had a blitz. Jeff Heath missed the tackle. Jalen Smith ends up catching him from behind. And you know, you look at these routes, it shows up time after time. The Giants are smart. Let's create space for Saquon. 3 receivers to the wide side, a receiver at the bottom, and clear it out. And just let Saquon go to work, one-on-one right here. And he's either going to make guys miss, he's going to get past them, but there's going to be yards to be made in space. And it's one thing that Pat Shurmur did time and time again. And it's one thing I'm sure that the Cowboys are working on all week in preparation for Sunday afternoon.
Well, Saquon's certainly a name everybody knows, especially if you got the #1 pick in your fantasy draft. But how about the name that maybe not a lot of folks know, and that's Tony Pollard. If, in fact, it's Pollard that has to go for the boys at back if Zeke doesn't show up. What do you see when you watch him?
Well, I liked him. Matt, he carried the ball 15 times in the preseason. I thought he got better from the first game against San Francisco, against the Rams. I think he got better and better. And the one thing that I saw from him when he did have some explosive runs and he scored a touchdown here against the Rams was his teammates really like him. I mean, you see the linemen running downfield, chasing after him, picking him up off the ground. You could tell on this touchdown run right here, the line are going to charge after him and help him up. And I think that's a big thing to really consider here is the line knows that they're going to need Tony Pollard this year, whether Zeke plays or doesn't play in this first game. We know the deal's eventually going to get done. But you can see this type of celebration in the end zone that his teammates really appreciate him. And I think they're going to need him during the season. And I think they like what they see, not just in practice, but also in the games, in these preseason games.